Number 1. On February 24th, 2015. People living in a quiet area in New Jersey started to smell sharply of gas. They reported the problem to the police right away. Numerous calls were received, all describing the same issue, an intense gas smell. Emergency services reacted quickly after realizing there might be a threat. To find out where the gas leak originated, police, firefighters, and utility personnel were sent to the location.
Is also rerouting buses and passengers should.
As soon as the rescuers got there, they started looking for the leak's location. They felt they had to take immediate action to avert a calamity because of a powerful gas smell, which suggested a serious issue. Finding the gas leak and securing the area to keep the locals safe was their main objective. Authorities made the decision to evacuate 75 nearby residences as a precaution. Their first concern was the citizens' safety, and they didn't want to take any risks. While the inquiry was ongoing, families were advised to vacate their houses and relocate to a safe distance. The worst-case scenario started to happen all of a sudden. A huge explosion occurred, and the police cruiser's dashcam caught it. The explosion had so great force that pieces of it flew in all directions. The house where the explosion happened was blasted away from its foundation and totally destroyed.
Injured, one critically. Crews are now working to fix the gas main break.
The horrific scene, in which parts of the house and other debris were strewn all over the place, was captured on dashcam footage. The explosion injured 15 persons, mostly utility workers and firefighters, even though it was vacant and undergoing renovations. A few of them needed to be evacuated to adjacent emergency departments due to serious injuries. The explosion is believed to have been triggered by a broken 2-inch gas line. What caused the explosion to occur and the exact reason for the breach are still unknown. Number 2. This incident was captured on New Mexico's Highway 10. Officer Darian Jarrett asked Omar Felix Cueva, the driver, to get out of the car during a routine traffic check. Cueva is 39 years old. The events that followed were horrible and shocking. Cueva got out of the driver's side of the car, carrying an AR-15 style gun. While Officer Jarrett was approaching the back of the car, he struck Officer Jarrett with an unexpected shot, sending him sprawling to the ground. After that, Cueva went around the rear of the pickup truck and shot Officer Jarrett many times, leaving him critically injured. Soon later, an agent from Homeland Security Investigations came on the scene and requested help. The search was underway for Cueva. Cueva was quickly found by New Mexico State Police officers Lionel Pauls and Sonny Montes traveling east on Highway 10 close to mile marker 116. Cueva fired the officers after stopping his vehicle. Although the officers fired back, Cueva was able to get away from them. Cueva continued to drive east on I-10 as law officers from many departments joined the chase. Cueva's car was eventually stopped by an officer close to mile marker 140. Cueva, carrying a gun, emerged from the car before it could stop completely and fired several shots at the police. Cueva was struck multiple times by the return fire of law enforcement personnel. Officer Adrian de la Garza was also hit by gunfire during this exchange, but he recovered and was allowed to go with minor wounds. Cueva was declared dead at the spot after suffering his injuries, despite the police's best efforts to assist him. Number 3. The site of our next event is in Arkansas, where dashcam footage shows a spectacular explosion. On October 15, 2005, at around 3 in the morning, Arkansas Police Corporal Randy McAdams was called to Hobo Jungle Park in response to a crash. With his years of training and expertise coming into play, Randy made the decision to stay still and assess the situation carefully before moving forward. He was aware that venturing into an unfamiliar scenario too quickly could be highly hazardous. He saw that the fog was not clearing up as one might anticipate. Rather, it appeared to persist and grow, suggesting that it might be something extremely dangerous. Randy's dashcam kept rolling as he sat in his police cruiser evaluating the situation, catching every moment of what was going to happen. The scenario took a sharp turn. An enormous explosion was suddenly filmed on Randy's dashcam. The scream was deafening as the screen erupted with fierce flames and blinding light. Randy managed to escape the explosion by hurriedly backing away from it. a tanker transporting compressed flammable gas, propylene, had been punctured as a consequence of the incident. The gas seeping from the tanker was the fog that Randy had observed. When Randy first noticed it, the gas had not yet ignited, but soon it made its way to a neighboring house, where the water heater, possibly, started it on fire. The dramatic explosion seen on dashcam footage was the result of this.
It gets home pretty hard.
Get your out of my way. Get the out of here.
Number 4. Lincoln County. Deputy Jeremy Gatney recorded an unsettling and endearing occurrence on dashcam in January 2016. While on a normal patrol, Jeremy came across an unusual situation. Jeremy came upon a roadblock as he got closer to a junction. When he examined it more closely, he saw that it was traveling in his direction. It was a child rushing in the center of the road, close to his front bumper, so he pulled down and switched on his lights. After swiftly picking up the boy, Jeremy started inquiring about his parents' whereabouts. The distraught parents were found soon after, frantically looking for their kid who had vanished. The parents were unaware that their child was absent for minutes until it was revealed that the child had inadvertently left the family's home through an open door. Despite a thorough investigation into the possibility of child neglect, the occurrence was finally ruled out to be an accident. Nobody was charged with a crime in this instance. This tragedy emphasizes how crucial kid protection is, as well as how vigilant law enforcement must be. Number 5. In 2022, on a cold February day. In Shawano, Wisconsin, Officer Jeff Buettner was traveling down a roadway while on normal patrol. The roads were covered with ice, causing driving exceedingly dangerous due to the adverse weather. Everything appeared normal as Jeff carried out his patrol, until all of a sudden there was a huge car crash directly in front of him. Numerous cars had lost control and collided with one another due to the slippery conditions. Jeff attempted to slow down as soon as possible, but the slick roads prevented him from stopping in time. Jeff's police car struck the collision directly. His automobile was hit by cars from behind before he could even understand what had happened. Jeff was essentially unscathed, but helpless to move as a result of the unrelenting collision that locked him within his cruiser. Jeff got stuck, but he didn't panic. He told everyone he was fine, although he was hurting and needed to call his boss. It took Jeff 6 minutes to figure out how to get out of the car.
Hey, officer, are you okay? A little sore, but I'm a little sore, but I gotta try and get a hold of my.
He then instantly started assisting other stranded drivers. 10 people were hurt in the pileup, which included 39 automobiles in all. This tragedy serves as a sobering reminder of how hazardous icy conditions may be and how crucial it is to drive carefully and attentively in such weather. Number 6. Rookie, Delaware. State Police Trooper. Hassan Hollis finds himself in a critical situation in the state of Delaware. It started as a typical day for Trooper Hollis, who was waiting for a tow truck to come get a stalled car on a freeway on-ramp. But things suddenly took a sharp turn for the worst. Hollis saw a red Buick Regal passing by as he waited. This was no routine sighting. Only a few minutes before, a radio call had been made asking all local officers to be alert for a car that fit that description. The car was connected to a potential abduction. Trooper Hollis left the disabled car and immediately started chasing the Buick on the highway. The pursuit was short-lived. Hollis quickly followed up to the Buick and verified that the license plate was the same as the one provided during the radio conversation. As backup was called for, Hollis was ready to bring the car to a very careful stop. Lewis said coolly that there was someone in the trunk when asked if there was anyone else in the car. When the police opened the trunk, they found Jassy Kohaya's body inside a bag. After more research, it was found that Lewis had bought the suitcase, surgical gloves, duct tape, and safety goggles from a local Walmart only a few days ago. The horrific events are thought to have started at the nightclub hundreds of miles distant from where Jassy was last seen. This is regarded as the location where Lewis enticed her into his vehicle. Lewis Coleman entered a not guilty plea, but a federal jury found him guilty based on a preponderance of the evidence. He is presently awaiting his punishment. This incident emphasizes how crucial it is for law enforcement to remain vigilant and respond quickly. Number 7. Two police vehicles were on North Keene Road in response to a routine traffic stop. Dash cams were mounted on both cruisers, prepared to record any events that might arise while they were on patrol. Everything appeared normal as the officers came and got to work. They had no idea that a stunning turn of events was about to disrupt their peaceful routine. The police noticed something strange 2 minutes after they arrived at the traffic stop. From above, they saw a little plane descending slowly. It appeared at first that the plane was just flying low. However, it was soon evident that there was a problem with the aircraft. The four-seater airplane began to lose height as it approached them directly. When the cops realized the jet would not make a secure landing, the situation became serious. During the descent, the right wing of the aircraft struck a tree, sending it spinning out of control and crashing on the side of the road. After arriving for a normal traffic stop, the ground officers were now handling the aftermath of an airplane disaster. As soon as possible, the police officers moved to secure the scene and make sure that nobody else was in danger. The emergency services were dispatched quickly, and their intervention assisted in the situation being under control. Mark Allen Benedict was the pilot and was joined by a single passenger. The engine began to fail soon after takeoff. Mark told the airport about the problem and said he didn't think he would be able to return. Mark was left with no choice but to try a roadside crash landing. Amazingly, Mark and the other man emerged from the debris with only minor wounds. A potentially fatal event was avoided because of their adept management of the circumstance and the police officers' alertness on the site. There were no injuries to anyone on the ground, and the emergency services' prompt action made sure that everything was quickly brought under control. What are your views on this? Which of one of this is the most disturbing thing caught on camera? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.